pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anyone do roll call?
Mayor Heim,
Present.
Counselor Johnson,
Present.
Counselor Quaid,
Present.
Counselor Hendrickson,
Present.
Counselor Jecka,
Present.
Okay, mayoral update. I went to the auxiliary pancake dinner or breakfast this past weekend. I know I saw some of you there. As always, it was fantastic, great food, wonderful company. I know the kids especially liked the tour of the fire trucks. I was there with a couple of kids and I can tell you that was the highlight of their day. So if you have never been to that, I highly recommend that you get it on your calendar next year. It's really a good time. I also want to address a few things that I've seen on Facebook recently. I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook, but every now and again, someone does notify me of something they think that I should be paying attention to, so I'll go in and take a look. The first one, was a comment regarding our bond rating. Someone put out there that, Rice Lake had dropped from a AAA rating to an AA3. That is not correct. Rice Lake has never, to my knowledge, had a AAA bond rating. And it's doubtful that we ever will. I don't know a lot about how that is calculated, but I do know big factors that go into that calculation are, debt ratio and, projected tax income, basically population. And in the research that I have done since I saw that post, I didn't find a single Minnesota city with a population of less than 10,000 that has ever had a AAA bond rating. So that's why I say it is doubtful that we ever will. Not out of the question, you never know, but it is doubtful. And in actual fact, Rice Lake 2 years ago, had an increase in the bond rating from, an A1 to an AA3. So we're pretty proud of that fact, and I just wanted to make sure that we cleared that up. Second, I've seen a lot of chatter about a potential data center being built in Rice Lake. I want to assure you that is not true. We have not been approached about having a data center built here. And even if we were, I can tell you that this council has no plans on entertaining a data center in Rice Lake. Certainly, I can't speak to the future when we have new council, but with this council, I can assure you it is not going to happen. And last, I know some of you are not happy with the job that this council is doing. And as everyone is aware, there will be a special election for mayor in November. 2 council seats will also be up for election at that time, as it will be the end of those 2 terms. And they are the seats currently held by Daryl Johnson and Mike Jecka. So if you or someone you know wants to run, please encourage them to do so. I encourage them to do so. Just make sure that the time commitment that is involved in being on the council or being the mayor is not just 3 meetings a month. It is a substantial time commitment. Every single one of us is on a number of other committees that require additional time. There's also a significant amount of time commitment in preparing for every meeting that we attend. Some months are busier than others, especially during budgeting. It is a very, very busy time. As a counselor, I spend on average 20 to 30 hours a month. As mayor, it's double that. Most of these hours are unpaid, but anyone that comes into this position for the money, it's not going to happen for you. This is not a get rich position. The only reason that I am bringing up the time commitment piece is because Rice Lake simply cannot go through another upheaval due to an elected official resigning. You're all aware we had 2 officials resign last year, and it has created a lot of division in our community. We can't go through that again. So If you're elected, you need to be prepared to see the term to its end. I don't care if it's hard. I don't care if you don't like it. If you are elected, you need to finish that term. If you make the commitment, honor it. And again, I encourage anyone who has an interest in running to do so. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. Public discussion. This is for any items not listed on the agenda or for items listed where a motion will not be made tonight. Discussion time is limited to 3 minutes per presenter unless you have another person or two that wants to donate their time. That being said, please come to the podium and state your name and address.
Alshire, 4802 Harlem Road. I'm following up on a couple things that I had asked about, the data request, putting intake dates on the administrative report. I'm just wondering where that is at, because last time I didn't see it on there. I asked about the truck number that had to be towed. I heard back what plow truck number that
That
was.
is totally my fault, Tara. I apologize. I don't
That's okay.
follow that.
That's why I'm circling. I'd like to know the driver as well, and then I noticed that there was a truck that had to be repaired for $5,615, and it looks like that is a big truck, not just a work truck. It seems to me like it would be a plow truck, so I'd like to know those numbers. The grader had a repair for $16,964.68 with the invoices from 3/24 through 4/13, and then $4,357 the previous meeting. I'm just wondering what needed to be repaired for $20,000, you know?
Did you know, Professor Johnson?
Yeah, they were working, we had approval for that repair at city council.
I remember that, but I don't know what the part was,
They
or,
worked on,
Exhaust. wasn't it?
yep, the DEF system. and
so
then
that was the $20,000 or that.
We got off pretty cheap, yeah.
Okay, well, and I know it's a big job, but I'd like to know details. The Menards purchases, are those reimbursements or is there a city credit card involved? You know, they're listed under Menards alphabetically. I was just curious, because I know back, what was it, 2023, the credit cards got taken away, so I just didn't know.
Tony, do our staff use credit card or do you?
We have an account, a store account that we're.
Oh, okay. While reviewing the agenda, I noticed that we only see money going out. We don't see money coming in. Where would that be found and how would that be something that we'd be a little more transparent on?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Money coming in would be utilities, utility charges. Tax money, which we get twice a year in July and December. Okay. I think of another, well, LGA. Anything else that I'm missing?
Water tower,
Water tower.
communication tower revenue.
There's permit fees in last month. Carly read all permit fees that she received, and it was quite large.
What about office rental?
That is on the,
Okay.
that is
So I
listed also.
would like to see that and how long that's, so where would I find?
I don't know.
Just submitting a request and
Does it always have to be
Quick
another
point of
request?
order. Someone please donate 3 minutes.
Can
I'll
you-
give it 3.
Thank you.
This is interesting.
It's just, to not have to do a data request or a secret email, I mean, can we just answer the question? Yes, it's a secret.
it is not something that we are required to have on the agenda, which is why it's not ever on there. When we are at the end of the year and we're doing our revenue summaries, though, all that
That's
things
where
are
it would be.
underneath there, yeah.
Okay, so at the end of every year, when we're wrapping the whole year up, that would be on there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to educate myself where these things are.
But if you want it, aside from that, you can certainly shoot me an email and.
Okay.
Let me know what you're looking for.
The comfort systems, I was just going over, Robin's numbers. it's wild to me how off their meters are to ours. And I'm excited for Robin's report, because maybe she can answer that. I had no idea that we can be saying, this is how many gallons our meters are reporting, and they're charging us for 1 million more, and that's wild. So I'm hoping that maybe she can explain that. I noticed background checks on the payments. What are those for?
Background checks on staff.
For new staff? Is that done for everybody?
Yes.
Even temporaries?
Yep.
So why wasn't it done for set worker?
I don't believe we're talking about individual personnel.
Okay, why wasn't it done in November then? Just curious. No answer? Okay, thank you.
Sarah, what was your first question? I didn't get that one written.
Data request intakes, the truck that was towed and the driver,
I got that one.
and the truck number for the repair.
Nolan Anderson, 4240 West Briar Road. I just want to make a statement. You were saying how a lot of people aren't pleased with what you're doing. I, for one, along with many others, appreciate you people very much. You're not doing it for the money, you're doing it because you're dedicated to the community. And I thank you, can't thank you enough. And especially got to point out Daryl, I had a concern one time here about a year or so ago. And by as busy a man as he is, he jumped on it right away. He got an answer for me. Wasn't quite the answer I wanted, but he did his best, and I just can't say enough about him. Same with you employees. What you're doing is not easy. Especially this day and age, it's not easy. And I just, and thank God that people like Mrs. Alshire can come up and express their opinions. Thank God we live in a country like that. But at the same time, appreciate what you're all doing. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Lisa Walls, 3861 West Tisher Road. I kind of wanted to bring up a question that I had asked Carly, and I know some of you who were at the planning meeting had heard kind of me talk about it a little bit, was about posting the public hearing notices on the website. Because like legally, you have to do it 10 days before the actual hearing in the newspaper, and then on the bulletin board at minimum. But we have this website, which I know you're changing. But there is a spot for public notices, or public, what I think it says actually public notices. And it's like a lot of times you refer to the website, but then that kind of information isn't there. And when it would be really nice if it could at least show up on the landing page for a day or two and then move to the public notices. Because not everybody has time to drive up here and check the bulletin boards. The Duluth News Tribune, we all know that paper of that is gone in the wind, you know, and I have an electronic copy, and to read anything like that in there is utterly impossible. With their app, you can't search or anything the same way you used to be able to when it was just online. So I would like if you would consider that as an option of posting public notices to the website, so everyone has a better chance of seeing them. So something for you to think about and consider.
Definitely,
Thank you.
definitely.
I just want to point out that we do post them on our website, on that page that we're talking about.
I have never seen one there, and the only time I've ever seen anything posted is like a few days before with the agenda.
Right, yep, so, sorry, to clarify, we do post a lot of stuff on that website. The
Yeah.
zoning ones were not posted on there. What we are starting to do now is when the posting notices are required, so 10 days before the hearing, or if Carly has them prior to that, she's posting it in the agenda, that notice, and sending it out as a notification to anybody that's subscribed to.
And does the agenda get posted 10 days before the actual?
It is now,
It
yes,
is
not the full agenda, but
Okay,
just that actual notice. So that anyone that subscribed to the planning commission agenda,
because it would be nice if the notice was posted separately. And someone else had asked me a question as to why like public hearings are not on a Teams or Zoom, like we have these meetings. Because there might be people interested in hearing who can't come.
And that is something that we are actively looking into.
Okay. Yeah, that was something someone asked me. I said I would check into it and see, because I think that'd be great too.
In fact, I've asked Tony to put it on the next council agenda.
Thank you.
I just like to speak on the notices on the website, and that's one of those things that after this last one, we heard that. And so made it a point to, now we actually have a variance hearing coming up, that's the Board of Adjustment, not, Planning Commission, and that one is posted, and so if you look at that or sign up for those subscriptions, you'll get an email. And it is now on the website, so take a look in there now and let me know if there's something more, and I'm trying to put as much information as possible. I have very limited information when it's posted as soon as I get an application and can start doing those notices. The last one, I had very short amount of time to get it out and still meet the deadline, or we were gonna have to push it back a month. And if those things aren't decided on within 60 days of the application, they're automatically approved. So sometimes it's like, oh, we got such short notice. Well, that's the day after I got the application, so.
Yeah, I saw the variance one out there as a meeting with the link to go to an agenda. But I think it'd be great if like the exact same notice that's public or that's posted on the bulletin board would be posted on the website as a single page. This is it in your face, here it is, kind of notice.
It's on the posting notices page.
Good. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Then we will move on to the consent agenda. I would assume you have all had a chance to look at that. Would anyone like to pull anything for further discussion? Okay, then I'll look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Councillor Henderson has made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councillor Johnson has seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, consent agenda has passed. Department reports. Looks like we have utilities.
First of all, I'd like to address Tara's question on the comfort systems billing. So that's all right. So part of that has to do with Duluth's billing versus the timing, because they go from a different start date and end date than we do in our utility billing. So there's gonna always be a difference. Sometimes it can be because they flush the hydrants and that's not metered, or potentially someone could have a water line break that we don't know about because it's in their own service lateral. I mean, there's different, or I don't know how often the fire department uses the hydrants, but things like that, that would cause difference in the billing usage.
Did we get charged for that? Like if somebody flushes a hydrant, is that like?
No, that's part of our maintenance.
That's part of the.
Yeah.
And even with the sewer count, does the Duluth side have like a meter that we don't have or something? It's crazy to be honest.
They don't meter the sewer, that's done through WLSSP. That's all through.
Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
No problem. And then, for the utility report for April, underwater, the lead service line replacement project. The city of Rice Lake was granted funding for $125,000 for the replacement of the 3 private service water laterals that were identified as having lead or galvanized pipes needing replacement. We applied for that funding in 2025, and at that time we had 5 service lines identified to be replaced. But since then, Public Works has confirmed that 2 actually were not lead or galvanized. So we still have that same amount in the event that we find between now and then, find any others that we can, otherwise we just use what we need and then the rest will go back. Or we just won't use it because it's in a loan type grant. And SEH has submitted the plans and specs and the other documents needed for certification to the Minnesota Department of Health, and we submitted the funding application to Minnesota Public Facilities Authority. We will be reaching out to the property owners so they are aware of the project and that it is no cost to them. We will keep you updated on this project as it progresses. For sewer, resource renew annual reporting scoring. The city received the results from our annual INI and FOG program reporting. The report was attached. The goal with our INI and FOG reduction program is taking actions such as annual INI and FOG inspections, lift station and sewer main televising and cleaning, manhole inspections and repairs, and inspecting new connections and repairs to ensure they are meeting standards and specifications. These are all actions that our Public Works Utilities Department does in effort to reduce INI and FOG as much as possible year over year. We have been in compliance every year, but we are celebrating this year because we had a perfect score of 0. And below is just to see what the historical results have been in the last 12 years or whatever it is.
That 0 is very nice.
0 was very nice. I mean, we did luck out by having a dry year last year, which helped. So we didn't have any exceedances, but we'll take it.
We will.
I apologize if I missed it, but what's INI and FOG and what?
Oh, it's just INI and FOG is what the inspections are.
Is
Yeah.
it for certain chemicals or something, or what is it?
And no, it's fats, oils and grease.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
yeah. Nice.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, anything?
Thank you, Robin. Council reports. Any?
I have,
Councilor Johnson, you starting us out?
I had the honor to host the Cub Scouts at City Hall. We gave them a little introduction on city government. Tony put together an awesome slideshow for all the kids. And we answered questions for the kids and the residents. It was actually an awesome evening for me. I really enjoyed it. We had City Hall all to ourselves. However, there was a Cub Scout that is pretty good with the gavel. So your replacement, you'll see him in the fall. I also visited the fire department training area on Schultz Road a few weeks ago. They gave me a tour on a Saturday morning of the container units. The volunteers are doing a great job making all the rooms look like real life situations. I know Councilor Jecker can attest to that. It's really neat. I hope you invite us all to tour it. So if you could pass that on to Chief. I also attended the Pancake Day at Fire Hall. It was a busy morning out there. Thank you for putting on a great event. And I attended many utility meetings. Went to St. Paul with the mayor and Tony and a meeting with Councilor Quaid. I also want to discuss some Facebook issues that have come up over the last few months that I forget to address, but recently there were allegations that I had directed the public works staff to plow and grade Stavanger Road first. This is a complete lie. Just want to make that clear. These are the same type of lies that skewed the 2024 election. I hope this election coming in the fall, you remain honest and truthful. I will make this clear one more time to the community. I have never self-served myself or any of my projects ever. I serve the community first, and it's been that way for 20 plus years. People in this room that can attest to that also. Now on to the roads. We had questions why the gravel roads are so bad this spring. Due to improper grading we had the past few years, it left the roads in poor condition. It will take a few years to get these roads back with proper shape and crowning. We will work, we will hire the right person to do this work. And I will again, do my best to train. I care about our roads, and I will never stop caring about them. I'm sitting on council in the audience with you all. Thank you.
Councilor Quaid?
I don't have a whole lot other than I attended the P and Z meeting and in the MIC meeting. I unfortunately couldn't make it to the fire hall, with the pancake breakfast, but I'm sure if I'm not, that's all I have.
I just had a few emails and texts from some people that we were able to kind of get some answers to. And I unfortunately too could not make the pancake breakfast. It was a lot of fun last year. I'm sorry to miss it.
Counselor Jenkins?
I don't have much. I was on vacation. I did discuss the permit variance with some citizens, but that kind of resolved itself. That's all I really have.
Okay. Thank you. All right, new business. Staff on hunger, and we will have a motion on this. I was approached by the organizer of this event in Duluth for the letter carriers, asking for a proclamation of support from Rice Lake. I did a little research on what they do and the organization, and it is certainly, it's a national event. It's not just in Duluth. But if they do a lot of good, they have gotten a lot of food out. Also 2 billion pounds of food since this was first put into effect. They stopped for a few years, during COVID. Not sure why, but they did. But they started it back up again last year. So I asked Tony to put a proclamation together. I hope you had a chance to read it. And would like to know if you, support this. Discussion.
I certainly support it.
Anyone else?
I think it's a good idea.
And just to put it out there, this will happen on the second Saturday in May. And all you need to do is put some non-perishable food items in a bag out at your mailbox, and the letter carrier will pick it up. So, I hope a lot of you will participate in this. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the stamp out hunger proclamation.
Counselor Hendrickson has made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Counselor Jecka has seconded. Does anyone in the audience have comment they would like to make?
Where to get up there?
Mm-hmm.
Will be according 40 Stanley Calvary Road. In past years, I remembered where we always got a postcard or something saying when that was happening. You know, and it would be the same thing, do something in bag. Do it. So I'm just wondering why the push for this. I'm not that I'm complaining about it, but I'm just wondering if they've been doing it that way for years, and they always gave you, the letter carrier always gave you notice. Don't they do that anymore?
That I don't know. I recall getting postcards in the past, but this was just an email sent to me. And I'm bringing it forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just curious because it would be kind of redundant, but whatever.
I think it's just, they want to get proclamations from as many neighboring cities as they can in support. Any other comments? All right, well, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Resource Renew Solid Waste Management Plan Amendment. Tony?
So we received this notice, Western Lake Superior Sanitary District and the 7 counties of the Northeast region of Minnesota have submitted a draft amendment to the Northeast Minnesota Regional Solid Waste Management Plan. This amended plan proposes an integrated solid waste management system through the year of 2036. Part of the plan beginning July 1st, 2026. Waste generated from our area will be disposed at the St. Louis County Regional Landfill in Virginia, Minnesota. This plan is available for viewing online. And then there is a public comment period for the amended plan open right now, and the public hearing will be at 4:30 PM on Monday, June 22nd. So just informational.
Just information. Also, any questions? And let's move on to resolution 26-14, resolution of application. Tony?
So, this is a resolution for application to PFA, the Public Facilities Authority, for a loan and or grant from the Drinking Water Revolving Fund. This is for the lead service line replacement that Robin was talking about in her report. So this is just authorizing, council giving authority to myself to apply for this loan or grant in the amount of $125,000.
And this is different than what we already have?
This is one of the steps of the process. So it's this, all the same thing, it's the state, so you have to submit several things.
Okay. Okay. Council? Questions?
This way, then the public don't have to pay for it, correct?
Correct, yep. Yep. So this is replacing those lead service laterals that have been discovered so far.
Anyone else? Then I'll look for a motion.
Support the resolution 26-14.
Counselor Quaid has made the motion. Do I have a second?
All second.
Counselor Jacka has seconded. Comments from the audience? Okay, you're done. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. The next is a request to hire 2 new fire department applicants. Counselor Jacka, being that you are only, well, actually Carly is here as well. But Counselor Jacka, do you want to talk us through this?
Yeah. I have that. So, I mean, basically, how it works with the fire department is when someone is trying to join, they have to kind of show an initial commitment by just showing up to meetings for a few months. Kind of weed out the lose, I guess I'd say. So Anton and Julia have been coming to our business meetings and stuff for the required time, and we'd like to, I guess, swear them in as probationary members. So those are the 1-year probationary period.
And I noticed Anton is in the firefighting program at LSC, correct?
Yes, yeah, we get a lot of younger guys from that. Carly, feel free to get in here too. Carly's a fire marshal, so she's probably more knowledgeable on it.
We do get, quite a few applicants that come from the school. Folks are recommended by the school to come get good experience at Rice Lake. We generally expect those to, a lot of them will stick around, but depending on where they end up getting their career, we help get them a good head start. And, yeah, both Anton and Julia have been consistently coming to all of our trainings and meetings and are absolutely quality applicants.
And Julia is an EMT only, correct?
Correct. Yeah, as of right now, that's what.
Okay.
It's a crime that we do too, that we talked about.
Yeah.
And Mark did indicate on here, they've repurposed some turnout gear for Anton during the probationary period, so that will not incur any added expense. Julia won't need that. So Mark is asking that we recommend and approve the hiring of Anton Schuck and Julia Carlson. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request to hire these.
Are we motioning this?
Yes.
Today, okay, sorry.
I'll make a motion to, approve the request, hire 2 new fire department applicants for their 1-year probationary period.
Counselor Jeff has made the motion, second.
All second.
Counselor Hendrickson has seconded. Any comments from the audience?
I just have a couple questions. How many people are employed at the fire department?
It's around 25, isn't it?
24 volunteers.
24 volunteers.
So they're volunteers, they're not actually, like you're saying, like hiring them. Are you actually paying them all the time? And
No,
that's what I'm wondering about.
no,
How many
no,
people
they are.
are we employing and that's for our city,
We
our size?
consider the fire department staff, but they are not employees.
Okay,
So, a little clarification, probationary members don't get paid anything, but members who have a good, members who have completed their probationary period and have all their required certifications, who every year of good service, they do get a stipend. You know, it kind of makes up a little bit for your fuel use, vehicle wear and tear, stuff like that. We may, even if we're responding to the hall and jumping in a, you know, a city apparatus, on the apparatus, we are still using our own vehicles and stuff.
yeah, I was just curious, I have a granddaughter down in North Carolina is trying to get them, and she said she had to go and like intern or whatever, and sounds like the same thing, they go when they do
Yeah, it's a probationary period.
a probationary thing, but when you said hiring, I'm just wondering, are we actually hiring them, you know?
No,
I can see where that would be confusing.
Yeah, cause I'm thinking, well, are these 2 more employees that are on the staffing?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
other than the stipend that he mentioned,
Right.
which is minimal. Anyone else? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Cooper Road, Cooper Road turnaround project. Shane is not here, so who wants to talk about this?
I can take this one. So we're looking to install a turnaround at the end of Cooper Road. So part of this process requires clearing trees and then prepping an 80 by 80 turnaround site. I believe we got 5 quotes in total. So Shane went through and kind of compared to make sure everything was apples to apples, and then is bringing forward these 2 quotes. One from A&H in the amount of $44,577.50. And then the other from Greg Kunst and Sons in the amount of $41,465. I also included in here the quote from Rick's Tree Service. Shane did reach out to Booker Tree Service, I believe, but did not hear back from them, so Rick was the only quote we got for the tree clearing portion of it.
And for the benefit of the audience, why do we need to do this?
So turnarounds are needed for, just general maintenance on the road, for snow plowing, grading. Usually on dead end roads, the buses will use them for turning around in or emergency vehicles. So, making sure we have adequate space for those bigger, trucks, equipment to turn around is the reason why we need to upgrade this turnaround.
And this is in the budget, correct?
It is, yes.
Council, any comments, questions?
not an expert, but I will say the price for the tree, brush clearing, land clearing seems very reasonable based on quotes I got for some personal work lately. Do like to see competitive quotes, but I understand that people don't always get back to that.
Anyone else?
We've been working on getting turnarounds on all dead ends in the city of Rice Lake, and there's still more to come. Main reason we picked this one is at the end of Cooper, we've been using the residential driveways, the vacuum with the big road grader and tearing up gravel. That isn't too friendly. So, there's other ones that we're working on. We worked at one back in 2023 down at the end of River Road by Suzanne Hursted's house, and we got a legal turnaround there. So it just helps.
Anyone else? And I'll look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Kunst Excavating for $41,465 for the Cooper Road turnaround. And Rick's tree clearing bid of $30,800 for the clearing.
Okay, Counselor Johnson's made the motion. Do I have a second?
Oh, there.
Counselor Quaid has seconded. Comments from the audience?
Sarah Altscher, thank you to Arnold. I just have a question, because I've done this before, or I've cleared land before. Leaving the stumps, we're pretty wet around this area, and if you leave the stumps and then we're gonna go and put like $40,000 of work over them, wouldn't that cause some heaves? And, I mean, everybody knows if you have a big rock in your driveway that heaves up or stumps. I'm just curious why that wasn't part of the, like, if it's already a good looking bid as it is, why not get rid of the stumps? I'm asking honestly.
That's a good question.
Do you want me to answer? I would, the grubbing and stump removal is included in Kunst estimate.
Oh,
Not in the- So they will be removed.
okay. That was the only thing that didn't make sense to me.
Yep, I didn't catch that.
Thank you.
The walls, 3861 West Tisher Road. I was gonna ask if this is paved, but I see that it's not, but I did notice that in Coons, and I haven't checked the other estimate yet, but it says rock excavation not included. So if they run into a bunch of rocks, who's gonna take care of that? Is that the city? That is then gonna be responsible for moving any large boulders or?
There, I can't. There's a shelf of rock down there on the north side of the road. And that veers into the project a little bit. Greg Coons put that in there because he doesn't want Rice Lake to hold McConnell to blast and remove the rock. All the other boulders and stuff he will handle. There won't, we don't want to blast it.
Right.
We have enough room with the layout and the planning of this. He just stated it because he did come up as a question from.
Okay.
I think it was on the other one as well. I think it's in both quotes, but yeah, they would not touch that.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Second readings. Commercial snowplow and service truck warning light policy. We talked about this at the last meeting. There were some questions that I believe were answered fully. But any discussion from the council on this today? I'll look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the commercial snowplow and service truck warning light policy.
Counselor Henderson has made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Counselor Jekker has seconded. Any comments from the audience? You're a quiet bunch tonight.
You should be happy.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. The Arrowhead Youth Soccer Association contract, I assume that they did get back to us
They
since
did.
the last meeting?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, we are just approving the contract and we have increased the payment by $250. Okay. Any questions? Comments?
What they got back to us on is that they figured out.
They were, yeah.
All right, now look for a motion.
We'll make a motion to approve the 2026 Arrowhead Youth Soccer Association contract.
Counselor Jekyll has made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll support.
Counselor Quaid has seconded. Any comments from the audience? I didn't think so. Not on this one. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion passes. Do we have any unfinished business, Tony?
No, we do not.
Then we'll look at the calendar for next month.
Sorry, Mayor, I will add, just because I've had a couple of people ask me and I haven't, nothing's gone out yet because the minutes aren't out, but the result of the public hearing from last week was that the applicant opted to withdraw their application during the public hearing. So no decision was made by the city on it because they recognized that it was not something their community wanted and they withdrew the application. Just wanted to make a formal report on that for the
I
record.
appreciate that. And I appreciated her doing so, listening to her neighbors. Yeah, I thought it was an excellent meeting.
I would just like to comment too on the crowd we had here was, they're passionate about their neighborhood, and that was not something they like to see coming to their neighborhood, and it was good to see that they got out for each other with that issue. Good to see.
Anything else? All right, then I'll go over the calendar for next month. On the 6th is the community club meeting at 6:30.
Just correct that. It's,
Yes.
we're building birdhouses and it's an ice cream social. It's the last one it's our last like meeting of the year. So it's a family event, you know, and kids.
Will it be here?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have 36 pre-built birdhouses ready to go and we'll have like basic vanilla ice cream with all the toppings because we get wild. But last year, I think we used all 36 and then some people were kind enough to give the birdhouse back, disassemble it and then give it to another person. But it's all, I think it's really important to give a shout out to Jerry Alander because he not only buys all the materials, he puts the time in to cut the patterns, pre-drill all the holes, he brings all the screws, and our goal is to eventually get to a point where we can pay for that ourselves, but he donates it all and he does a great job, so.
That's commendable.
So that's on the 6th, and it's at, I believe it's at 6 o'clock. I could be wrong. I have too many things in there, but it's ice cream for household social thing.
Wonderful.
Good project.
Yes.
You said it was the last one for the year.
It's our last meeting of the year, and then we meet again in September for pizza party and
It was
November.
in summer.
Yeah, and the Green Club still is active in neighborhood night out and all the things. But, it just gets too crazy in the summer times.
Sure.
So.
We don't have that much time.
It does say 6 p.m. on the flyer on our website.
Oh, thank you.
I think the sign up is still out there if anybody wants to
Yeah.
sign up tonight for it, you certainly can.
Yep.
Okay. So
Thank you.
correction, it is 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, on the 11th is our first city council meeting of the month at 6 o'clock. On the 19th is the planning and zoning meeting here at City Hall at 6 o'clock. On Wednesday, the 20th is the MIC meeting at 6:30. You know where that's gonna be, Bob?
I believe it's gonna be where it was last, of the ARDC office on West First Street.
Okay. The 21st, Thursday, is the Duluth Area Township meeting, 6:30. Where is that gonna be held? Do we know?
Don't know that they said.
I thought I read someplace Grand Lake Township,
Oh, okay.
but I don't ever recall seeing anybody from Grand Lake Township.
Yeah, they don't normally attend,
Yeah.
so.
Well, maybe they'll attend this one.
We'll have to check that.
Where they don't attend, yeah. On Monday, the 25th, City Hall will be closed. It's Memorial Day. And then, the second city council meeting of the month will be on Tuesday, the 26th at 6 o'clock.
And isn't on the 28th the variance meeting?
The 28th, I believe, is the variance meeting in the
Yeah.
Board of Adjustment.
Yeah, I don't know where the calendar gets printed from, but literally just happened last Friday, so
Yeah.
the calendar was likely on here well before that got scheduled, so again, timing thing.
Yeah. This is really a reference for council that we did way back in the day, so if you want to discontinue it, we certainly can. I don't know if it's helpful or not.
Well, I know it's helpful to me.
Okay.
So you mean having the calendar?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we put in on it. Everybody should be interested in it.
So yeah, let's keep it.
Okay.
Unless anybody hates it.
From outside, I like it.
I do too, for exactly the reason I just stated. It's a great
It's a,
publication of good community events.
But it doesn't, do you want community events on it? That, I guess, because it's not a community event calendar, it's a council meeting calendar, so it's just for meetings that will be conducting business. Community club has historically been on here, which is great, but if it's a community event calendar, then there's a lot of other community events happening that aren't on here, and
then I think we'll lose the impact of when meetings are. My opinion only. Your thoughts, council?
so that, I'm just saying that, because that's why sometimes things, times are incorrect or whatever, it's just however. the
I wasn't
meetings
upset at
are.
all. I just took it as an
No, no,
opportunity
no.
to advertise.
No, we just don't want to put wrong information out, so
Yeah.
we're like,
No, I couldn't even remember the time myself.
I think keeping what we have on there.
Put a disclaimer, this is just a guide.
I think
Yes.
that might be.
Yes.
Don't
Yeah.
set your watch on
You
your
went-
calendar to it.
what a.
Yep.
All right, well, if that's all, then I will look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Meeting adjourned. Isn't it nice not having this